You're listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Todd and his three sons, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Fox Den Sports Podcast, along with my three wonderful sons, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon. I am Todd Fox, and we are the Fox Den Sports Podcast. We would like to welcome all of our friends, our family, and those many foes that continue to watch and listen. We appreciate it. Keep it coming.
Oh, so dearly, you know.
Oh, I love them. Love all those foes. There's a few. I don't want to name them, but you know, just anyway. All right. Welcome back again, Gannon. You missed last week. I don't think anybody's seen you for about a month because you had spring break a few weeks ago, and then you what else did you do? Oh,
well, then we were
podcast for
3 weeks.
Yeah. You went. Where'd you go, Gannon? Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good.
About it.
Did you eat anything good? I mean,
No. Not really, no. No, we were at a children's home.
Okay. Were they better than those chips you were chowing on a little bit ago, or?
Nah, it was pretty good.
Pretty good
Those
chips.
children's homes, man, they got some good food. What are you talking about?
Little peanut butter pretzels.
That's where Mom and Dad found me, you know?
Hold on, that's the wrong one.
There we go. Yeah.
That would have been better. So anyway, we're still learning here at the Fox Den Sports Podcast.
Well, they've been doing this for 3 years, but yeah.
We got a few things to talk about tonight. I think we can talk a little bit about some NFL free agency news. I don't know if Garrett has any Sooner news, but the college basketball tournament, and then a little bit of some Thunder as well. So, where do y'all want to begin first? Let's talk a little NFL action going on. When we were on last week, had Russell Wilson already been gone to Pittsburgh? I can't remember if we even discussed that.
He had not.
Had he not? I don't remember when that all
He
that
hadn't.
happened.
Derrick Henry hadn't signed.
Right. I know Derrick Henry,
But
yeah, I think that's a good signing for Baltimore. I think he is exactly the kind of running back they need if he's the same, which I get the fact he's probably not going to be as productive as he was in other years, but he's going to take a lot of pressure off of Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you guys think, what are your all thoughts on that one is?
even if he's not the same, though, the offensive line's better than what he had at Tennessee for a majority of any year he was there. So
way better
plus,
quarterback.
When you have a quarterback that's a running threat, too, that still takes off a little bit. And a passing, like he was with Ryan Tannehill. So
that
I think
team's good enough that he doesn't need to be what he was.
Exactly. He'll be a workhorse and be very, very productive if everything stays healthy, obviously. But
100%. I agree. Who else? I know there was a lot of
Marquise Brown signed with the Chiefs.
I think that's a good one. I think he could be.
I do too. I think he sucks. I think Marquise Brown's terrible. I think he's just carried by his speed, but I also think Mahomes is going to make him a lot of money because he only signed a one-year deal.
But he's also known for dropping balls too, so it's
Left and right, yeah.
I remember him talking about when he left the Ravens, he was like talking about how he was going to finally have a quarterback that could throw him, and everybody just started dropping clips of balls hitting him in the chest, balls hitting him in the hands, and just I love him. Did some great things back in the day, but
back for us, yeah. Did we? I think Saquon had already signed, didn't
he? Yes.
Yeah. I know that one had already been done. I know
Justin Fields.
Fields is a trade to Pittsburgh. I guess he turned down or four other. I don't know what the organizations were or teams, but to go to Pittsburgh.
I saw there's a guy at work who's there's a guy at work that's a Chicago fan, and like Philly's definitely won for sure, just based on the trade they made for Kenny Pickett. Obviously, they probably went for Fields first, but I can't imagine Atlanta being one of the teams because why would Justin Fields have turned down a starting role over a backup? Because they would have only offered it before they're not going to trade for a quarterback after they sign Kirk Cousins. That would have made zero sense.
I feel like he wanted to play for Tomlin.
And that could be the case.
I mean,
Russell only signed
automatically going to
year.
have a better record than he always has, just being on his team. And Tomlin seems like he had some like meetings with him pre-draft, and like it just seems like they have like a good relationship already. So I feel like he wanted to just go to Tomlin.
Justin Fields draft or just
yeah.
Okay.
They had workouts and stuff.
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. I just don't know how. I'm still, the jury's still out, I think, on him a little bit, but I just don't know.
Well,
well
and here's what sucks is even if he's turns out being okay, which I guess would be more on him, but they don't have a lot of weapons in Pittsburgh either for him. So they traded away Deontay, so now all they literally have is George Pickens, and I wouldn't count Najee Harris as a weapon at all.
No.
Everybody keeps saying that team's going to be stacked. They are not.
No, like the offensive line is older. They have time to get it, upgraded, but.
And by the time he amounts to anything, if he does, that defense is going to be done.
Yeah. I mean, they still have some young pieces, but it's not going to be as deep as it is right now, for sure.
Well, Chicago's better, though. Dadgum, if they get Caleb Williams and they got, Keenan Allen?
Keenan Allen, DeAndre Swift, obviously. That was a thing already last week. But here's the thing. If, say, Caleb goes number 1 to Chicago, I guess minus it being just the Bears and that franchise and everything, is that the best situation a quarterback being taken off the board first has been in, like, ever, or at least most recently?
In recent memory, at least.
What do you mean? What'd you say? I don't understand. Say that again.
Going number 1, you don't usually walk into a situation like that. Like, he really has no excuse not to succeed.
Not to honestly hit above 500 year 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah,
and that's where I'm trying to figure out when the last time a quarterback got set up that well in their first year, being that high of a pick. One of the names thrown out was Andrew Luck, but we were talking. I don't think he had the weapons that Caleb will have.
It was a better situation than some, but he clearly
wasn't
didn't
his
have
line
great weapons.
also horrible?
His line was terrible.
Yeah,
it just helped that like he was on a team that was doing well. Peyton Manning missed a year, so then obviously they got a good pick out of it.
Right. That's the whole thing. Is they were so bad because of Peyton Manning missing. So he did get a good. He was in a good situation, but I think the only I don't say concern, but is the coaching staff. Is how well are they going to be? Are they going to be better? With Caleb, because I think the coach and his the coaching staff has to do well this year, otherwise, or the team has to do well, otherwise I think they'll be firing the coach and going again, getting somebody else. And that's the problem with a lot of these younger quarterbacks. I mean, look at Baker. He had different coaches, different offensive coordinators all the time. I mean, he never could get settled, and it happens all the time in the NFL. And hopefully that doesn't happen to Caleb Williams. But I'm assuming he will be the first pick. I'd be surprised, and I think the kid from LSU will probably go number 2 to Washington, and most likely possibly give us some fits for a few years as Dallas fans. For some of us, maybe, I don't know.
He's not going to be good.
You don't think so? You think Drake
I would
May will
put
be better?
him. I'd put him as the 4th best quarterback in the draft.
Who do you think's better, Michigan quarterback?
J.J. McCarthy, which is a good segment to the next thing.
What do you got?
Minnesota made some moves after Kirk signed, trading with Houston to kind of get loaded up on some more draft capital to most likely trade up into for sure the top 10, if not higher, to be able to draft a quarterback, which is most likely J.J. McCarthy.
Yeah. I'm just not a big fan of Sam Darnold, but I think he's just going to be there for they're going to get a quarterback.
Be a future quarterback coach, so might as well.
Yeah, they're going to get a quarterback. I look for him to be like Bo Nix or somebody like that, or J.J. McCarthy. But I also heard that Denver wants him pretty bad too.
Denver wants Bo.
Did they really?
Minnesota's probably getting they've scheduled like a private workout with him. He'll be having soon. Like that's pretty much who they're locked into. I feel like.
Yeah. Any surprise? Go ahead.
I was going to say he'll have plenty of options. Aaron Jones, who's not bad. This is going to be the first year he's really going to be all by himself.
Yeah.
Obviously, a top 2 receiver in the NFL, and then T.J. Hawkinson. I mean, he's got plenty of help offensively.
Any surprise to Aaron Donald retiring? I know I was surprised.
Yeah, that was pretty
Kind of shocking.
random.
I mean, it happened at a random time, but he should have just done it after the Super Bowl.
I bet you he feels that way too, honestly.
I mean, I'm sure he thought they could do more than what they did after that, but like, everybody knew that was a one and done thing. It was good. I mean, they did well, but
They even weren't bad the next year, but to go back to back is just
No,
Way
it's
too
Yeah,
extremely
and last
hard.
year.
Yeah,
I mean, he's one of the best defenders we've ever seen.
he's one of the best ones in the recent years. Yeah, I guess he played for 10 years exactly, which is pretty
10
cool.
years, 10 years of All Pro. I think
At least-
I think Barry Sanders is the only other player
Yes.
to ever do that.
Yes.
10 years of Pro Bowl.
Pro Bowl is what I
Yeah.
meant.
But I think it's like not 8 or 9 All Pros. But yeah,
I think
every
8,
year.
yeah.
And then he's got, 2 or 3 Defensive Player of the Years. So
Yes.
that was
100%.
shocking. Van Der Esch retired too. Leighton Van Der Esch.
Yeah,
which
but he's been.
I feel bad for him.
I feel bad, but he's been hurt. So I mean, it's
No, he
it had to
has.
happen.
But I remember his rookie season. We thought him and was it Jalen Smith or something?
Oh yeah,
We're gonna
Jalen
be-
Smith. Yeah,
We had the
Thought they were
best
gonna be the
young
1-2
linebacker
punch.
cores, and
it's never
Jalen
materialized.
fell off really quick, and Van Der Esch just never
And
got
that
healthy.
was right after Sean Lee kind of like fell off
True.
the cliff too, wasn't it?
Oh yeah,
So we were
Sean
like,
Lee
it was a
so good.
perfect
If he-
replacement. We were like, oh
Yeah.
yeah.
100%. No, you're exactly right. Sean Lee was fantastic, and I mean the stats were out there. I don't remember what they were, but when he played, Dallas won a lot of games while he played, and he was just a leader out there. 100%. He was great. I love that guy. Did what's his name? Mike Evans, had he already signed his deal with Tampa Bay last week? I don't remember.
Yeah,
if
that
he
was
did or
like one
not,
of the
but-
first deals made
Was it?
of free
So I
agency.
mean, that's good. That's really good for Baker Mayfield, I think, for him. I know Chris Jones re-signed with the Chiefs, which honestly I was shocked about that, but I mean, good for him, for sure. Other than that, I mean, I'm sure there's a couple that were missing, but I can't think of any of them. I'm trying to scroll through right now.
Kenneth Murray, Oklahoma, former OU linebacker, signed with Tennessee. A lot of people are calling it one of the worst deals of free agency.
Really?
Yeah. I guess he's a pretty good run cover guy, but one of the worst passing linebackers in the NFL. So,
Really?
which I can see.
Calvin Ridley goes to Tennessee as well. I mean, they're
Oh
just
my gosh, yeah.
they're just not very.
Tennessee's spent a lot of money this year. Ridley, they got a defensive lineman, a linebacker, and they got Tony Pollard.
I like Joe Mixon going to Houston. I do like that, and that gives me a little bit of I'll be rooting a little bit more for Houston. I know.
I mean, I was already
Oh,
sadly rooting for them. Like, I love CJ Stroud.
I know. That's a player. I say it now. That's a player I have a hard time thinking I'll dislike in any way in the future.
I was about to ask how long until it kind of turns though, because everybody's like on
probably
board
when he
with
wins
the
like 2 or
Texans
3
right
Super
now.
Bowls, you know.
Depends on if it turns into
Yeah,
a chode.
100%. Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
think he'll
Like,
ever be a chode, but like
no.
Then I'm
at
not-
some point it's
you know?
going to turn, and people are going to be like, "Oh, I'm sick of this guy."
Yeah.
I was going to ask when that would
It's
be.
like Mahomes. I used to love Mahomes.
Any
but-
good player in any sport, yeah.
If it's not under team, yeah. definitely.
Unless it's your team, like your guy, like
Oh,
if it's
yeah.
some kind of a Dallas Cowboy or a
Our teams never end up with that.
under
though.
player. Well, yeah,
I will say I saw a post the other day. Like this is the final season before Shea, Anthony Edwards, and somebody else like enter that like Devin Booker of one of the best in the league. But like, what has he done? And like one of the most hated in the league.
Which
People
because
already
the
hate Shea.
entire team like has already turned the corner of being like, oh, they're like all young and good and all, and then everybody hates us now. Though we're probably one of the most disliked teams in the league.
I wouldn't say
You like-
disliked. I would say more so.
A lot of people hate us
No,
just
no.
because we took away the
for
Supersonics.
sure.
I would say more so just they just have zero faith in us. That's what it is.
Well, that as well, but and I don't either. But no,
I
they just
kinda
I've
like
seen
it.
people that just hate us.
I kind of
Oh, I like it.
You
Well,
know?
because last time we were good, people overrated us.
Dad
do you-
says
what do
he
you-
likes that, and then like for instance, when like Brent Venables does something to put a target on the back, I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm like,
I don't like putting a target on your back, but if you don't like it's because we're good, that's fine. But if you don't,
Oklahoma City's
Yeah.
only has a target on
mean-
their back because they're incredible incredible.
True, but we're kind of doing it to ourselves the way they act post game. I like it. I'm not saying I don't like it. No, I know, but a lot of
you talking about when they huddle up and they
start barking at each other and all this, and Shay's Instagram stuff. Like,
but they're not calling
that.
out other coaches or whatever that Venables did. They're not calling out other players. They're just doing what they do.
Venables
and
didn't
if it
do
annoys
that.
people,
He just called an entire state and university and fan base.
Oh yeah, that's even worse. But
I mean, it's Jay Will, right? Is he the one from Arkansas?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was
he's always in there. They hardly ever talk to him, but he cracks me up, man. He's like
he's always all.
He's a locker room. He's a locker room guy. I'm telling
you.
But
he's good. I don't know why people don't think he's good.
No, I didn't say. But he's good. Yes, but he's
a good
Shea
backup set.
You got you've got 4 or 5 guys that are above him.
He's cool right now, but once we see him in the playoffs, we're going to be like, there's going to be a couple players on our team that people get different perspectives after playoffs. Or there's going to be a lot of people in good and bad ways.
They're probably only going to play 8 guys, maybe 9, right? Don't you think? Unless somebody
they'll limit it.
Maybe.
But I think if he's healthy, he'll be in the rotation because when he's in, we don't play bad at all. And he's the only one on that team that should be giving Chet any rest. The only one. Biyombo, I don't know what happened to him. Surely he's not going to be available for majority of the year, if ever again. And other than that, I couldn't tell you another center we got on the team.
We have
what's Muscala listed?
I wish he got more.
Is he more of a power forward?
He's not sturdy enough to guard center.
No, I agree.
Yeah, Jay Will's the only one who'd be able to just kind of. I mean, he wouldn't be able to, but stand in front of a Jokic or someone and just keep him somewhat out of the paint.
Well, speaking of the Thunder, I know we're a half game ahead of Denver. We're 47-20. Denver's 47-21, so we're still holding on to that number 1 seed right now in the Western Conference. Minnesota's a game back. Clippers are 5 games back. So, and New Orleans is 6. I mean, unless something crazy happens, we should finish 1, 2, or 3. Which I'm surprised, honestly, that Minnesota's doing so well without
Anthony Edwards, man.
Towns, you know what I mean? You got Boston running away right now on the East, but that's just going to be very interesting. Very interesting.
I love the downfall of the Clippers since All-Star break. It's absolutely hilarious because they were in all honesty, the only team that I was like kind of scared of.
They were hot. They
were
like a 12,
17 and like 1
at one
or something.
point.
Yeah.
I'm just most
they were rolling.
scared of Denver.
Right.
Just
we'll get beat by Denver if we play Denver.
Unfortunately,
we're gonna have to play him if we want to get to the finals. You have to go. You're most likely going to go through Denver.
Who do you guys think that like?
The
who do you
only
feel good
team,
against? Who do you feel bad against?
The only team I feel bad against is Lakers. That is the
Lakers,
only team in the
Lakers scare me to
West.
death.
No, dude.
Well, I mean, Lakers and Warriors just because of experience.
No, not the Warriors.
I mean, all it takes is Clay and Steph get rolling. It doesn't matter.
Asking that Lakers team to pump out 6-7 games
if
in
we
one
make it to
series
game
against
5,
us there's no
Clay
chance.
Thompson ends it.
Nah, I mean they're the only team that has dominated us every single game we've played them, and I mean dominated us. And it's not. It would only maybe get worse in the playoffs with them. And they're going to do the same. They're going to do the same thing and limit their rotation and play their best players. And
but that just means they have to play more minutes, and they're a bunch of injury glass kind of guys.
I mean, I wouldn't say anything. Yeah, we.
It depends on what round. If it's late enough, LeBron won't be able to keep up. As good as he is,
he'll be fine. But you can't ask Davis. They're way too old and way too just
But if it's round 1, it'd be different.
With most teams,
I'll just say I am not scared of Denver though, at all.
I'm scared.
We're 3-1 against them this year.
Yeah, but it's just Jokic. Something about that guy, just nobody can stop him, and it makes no sense.
We have.
Dagnall is
honestly. Dagnall. There's a
reason
Dagnall's
basketball's different though. Playoff basketball's different.
And it comes down to experience too. As much as I love our squad, I think they can do it. I think they can do it. It's just
I think they can, but
if it's close enough, what's going to break the tie? It might be experience. But we could hope that the youth and the energy and the excitement.
I've ever seen anybody play on Jokic, so that's a plus. But I don't know, playoffs, man. There's a few of our players who are going to get exposed, and we know that team is as perfect of a team as it can get, which I think our team is as perfect as it can get without knowing exactly, like with the playoff series under the belt. But that still leaves a couple of question marks, if that makes sense.
But we still have the best basketball player on the planet, so we'll be fine.
True. But here's the thing about the playoffs. Yes, it's different, but I guarantee you, bold prediction from Garrett, whatever, Shea, Chet, and J-Dub are going to be a different caliber of player in the playoffs.
They will all rise.
They're going to right now. They'll make up for the difference of the people who you said are going to be, what'd you say?
I mean, it's
I don't know.
For me?
Well, no, Gannon said they're going to be.
I'm saying
exposed.
Like Denver's a perfect. Okay.
They'll make up for the guys who get exposed. The question is it enough? In the future, it's more of just filling in those holes that we had in the playoffs. But now,
which is
Shea,
exactly
Chet, and Jada,
this playoff is good.
Yeah,
who I think is going to take it to another level and absolutely dominate. I think Joe and Dor are going to be the biggest
X factors.
The biggest difference.
I mean, they could be they would be the difference makers of what can separate it from a win and a loss. If Dort can lock up and Joe comes off the bench and keeps the points rolling.
You see, like Denver last year, like the Aaron Gordons and the the Caldwell Popes. Those were the guys that they make the right play, make the right shots. Like that was.
I mean, yeah, and you look at it too. I can vividly remember probably 5 or 6 of our losses this year, which is a good majority of our losses, have all been when Dort's not hitting, and that's really about
Joe
it,
just
honestly,
doesn't
or
shoot.
Joe. But a couple years ago, Dort's
if Giddy plays over 20 minutes, or I'm going to say over 15 minutes average, we will not win one playoff series.
You're insane.
Or if he just doesn't shoot.
He's going to get exposed like I can't even describe it. It is going to be some of the worst basketball you've ever seen in your life if he plays more than 15 minutes. And if he doesn't play more than 15 minutes, that's because we're blowing them out because he hasn't played all game and he'll play the whole fourth quarter or something.
Can't wait for him to prove you wrong.
Do you think
horrible?
Do you think Case and Wallace is in the rotation hall? Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
think Giddy should play a minute.
Wallace should play.
Joe should play.
Well, we know he's going to. We know Wallace and we know Joe. We probably
Hayward will get some time.
We could go 10 if we kind of need it.
I think we'd almost have to go 10 just because
which could be good.
If you don't play
LA.
Jay Will, if you don't play Jay Will, you're going to have multiple guys trying to fill in for Chet.
Yeah. So
I
explain
do like what
this.
Gary said though.
Go ahead.
I was going to say I think our trio is all we all know we all know they're good right now, but playoffs they'll all rise, which is huge.
Yeah.
Like the Celtics, their trio has always been hit and miss, not all risers, but which this year might be different with Porzingis, but our trio right now, they're all just going to step up and it's going to be awesome.
And honestly, Dort's probably one of the ones I remember having the most playoff experience, and from what we've seen, he's been a riser. He offensively and defensively. Oh, yeah. Granted, it's been a couple years, so who knows?
Was it just that Rocket series?
Well, Rocket series was defensively, and then I'm pretty sure maybe it wasn't that series or the previous year. He had a game where he dropped 30-something, and he was 70% from 3.
Game 7, he dropped 30.
If he's hot,
the play-in last year, he was also excellent on defense.
Playoff
atmosphere.
It is. Right. That game, we only lost that game because we didn't have Chet. That was literally the only reason we didn't win.
Played pretty poor because he had
the
strained eye or black eye. Yeah. So if he played better and we had Chet, we smoked that game. Anyways, go ahead, Paul.
Speaking of play-in, so explain to the audience and then even help me out because it's hard because it's fairly new. Is it the 7, 8, 9, and 10 seeds? Like right now, hypothetically, if the season stopped today, it would be Dallas, Phoenix, Golden State, and Lakers. I'm assuming it'd be Dallas against the Lakers and Phoenix against Golden State. Is that what I'm? And it's just one game, right?
Dallas would play Phoenix.
Would they really 7 and 8?
The winner goes to the playoffs. The loser plays the winner of the 9 and 10.
Ah, okay.
So the 9 and 10 have to win 2 to make it in. Both the 7 and 8 only have to win 1.
Which
Okay.
we 9 last year.
We
'Cause
were,
we
because we
won
won against,
and then we had to play again to get in. We missed it.
right.
It's a far cry from last year. I mean, we are if we win 70%, right now we're at a 7.701 percentage. We would have 57 to anywhere from 57 to 58 wins, which would be oh my goodness, ridiculous,
Insane.
right?
What's our
So
record
and then,
for most wins in a year?
we're 47 and
47
20 right now. 47 and 20 right
Now,
now.
you're saying our record
What's our
for most
record
ever?
for the most in a season?
that.
What's the Thunder's
Oh,
all-time
oh.
record?
Probably 50.
You think?
56.
Did we never get in the 60s?
I mean, look,
60s is a different level. I want to say 56, 57. But that's just off the dome. We might have hit 60. 60 is just a lot, man.
Well, it is, but looking through here right now, I've got it.
I mean, as the Thunder, they went 60 and 22 in 2013. If you want to
Wow,
count
I didn't know
Seattle
that.
Supersonics,
Yeah,
it's
I'm not
different. But
counting
nobody
Seattle.
cares about
I'm not
that.
counting Seattle.
2014, we went
60 and
59-23. 2012, 47-19. Right now,
60 and 22 is
2024,
crazy.
we're 47 and 20.
And it's similar to how it is this year. Like, we went high 50 or 60 wins, and we were still, like, tight up there.
yeah, we'd have to go.
We're literally
13-2
we're
to tie it.
basically tied for sixth place for most wins, and that's including Supersonics. So we're tied in third for most wins for the Thunder right now.
And you look back on it, and then of course it's any team can say this, but I mean we dropped a game against Indiana last week, and then a few weeks ago we lost to San Antonio. There were
Detroit.
several of those.
Yeah, but everybody
Yeah.
everybody who loses games they're not supposed to
No,
lose. Like
and I
that's just
agree.
that's
No,
part
I
of
agree.
playing this many games.
I would rather
And then
lose
we win
those games.
we're not supposed to win.
Yeah,
I'd
I
rather
would
prove
rather.
we can beat the good teams than only lose against good teams.
We
like
have
the Dallas
by far
Cowboys
the
or something.
We have by far the best record. I can't remember if it's above 500 teams or I think it might be even like above 600
We have the best.
teams.
We
I
have
don't
the
know.
best player on the planet. That's all. That's all you have to say.
Best player on the planet,
100%.
best rookie on the planet, best head coach on
Yeah.
the planet, best and most
27 to
improved
7
on the planet.
27-7 at home, 20 and
Best shooter on the
34 in the
planet.
division,
Best trio.
30 and 15.
I think we literally have like the
They're
best bench
good.
too.
And we have the best starting, or not starting, but we have the best team
Just
on the
keep-
floor, rating wise.
We also have the best. We got the best looks too.
Yeah, we do.
Just keep
Yeah,
them
we
healthy.
did.
What do you mean by
Keep them
that?
healthy, and it's going to be fun to watch. I don't know. I mean, do you see Boston coming out of the East right now? I mean, do you think anybody can challenge them?
Nobody's challenging them.
Milwaukee.
I mean, but Milwaukee's just not looking as good as they should. So, like Milwaukee on paper, Giannis I think is one of the best in the league. So I would think, but
I'm just
like
gonna be
that side's
frustrated
just
when
that's just a weak side.
I say
of it.
when Boston makes the finals because there's nobody to really compete, and it's just like just a sad.
But I
conference.
mean, honestly,
we
like,
would be
I think we could beat
looking
Boston.
insane in that conference.
I think we could. That would be
I think we could beat Boston.
That'd be a tough one.
It's
though,
two
but
young teams, but
The biggest thing is they have also one of the best defensive teams in the NBA,
and they have a tall team.
they're
They're very
They're a
tall
tall
team.
team.
because they got
But they also have shot chuckers though. You know, like they'll
Jason
get
Tatum
just,
also
like,
likes to
dumb
disappear when
shots.
it's time to play sometimes.
That too.
So,
yeah,
Good
I mean,
point.
I'm not kidding, but yeah,
I mean, yeah, you.
but all it takes is 1 year for him not to do that, and not many teams can stop that team.
Speaking of Boston, go ahead.
I also think though, if let's say we had one or two games to start off that series, like we could very easily kind of get in their heads, and then they're overthinking things or stressing out, make the wrong plays, and then it's ours. But that'd obviously be if we started off really hot
I am curious.
and disciplined.
This would be something we'd have to look up elsewhere. But
What are we one of the few teams that hasn't allowed like a huge comeback and lost? Because you see a lot of people are always talking about like, oh, they came back from 15 or 20 down, which is all over the place right now. And we have a lot of games where they'll come close, and then we'll kind of kick it
But
in
we
gear
do
and
pull
close
out,
it out.
yeah.
Which is always what
Which is
the
another-
announcers are raving about and everything, which is fair. But
I don't know.
kind of to Gannon's point and Callan's, but like these guys not getting in their head, especially just mid game, and be able to turn it around real quick.
And we also have two of the best fourth quarter players in the league, specifically within 5 minutes and 5 points, like which is defined as like clutch. Like Williams and Shea are just like you can't stop both of them in one game.
Yeah, you see Dub has the highest shooting percentage in the NBA on pull-ups.
It is absurd. Oh, I thought you were just talking about his efficiency within the clutch. But yeah.
Just in general. But,
six times this season we've lost 2 games in a row. I mean, so it's weird how it happens like that. It's like boom, boom, and then we go on this winning streaks, lose one. I mean, we haven't lost more than 2 at all. So that's pretty impressive.
Which I know a couple of those I think could be like long travels, or like one of those is one of the back-to-backs.
New Orleans and
like,
Golden
it's just
State
weird scheduling.
Was the day in between, and they were both here. Golden State game was that one. I think is that the one where, what
goaltended or something.
The
and then Sixers, and we played here against Sixers, lost by 4, lost by 3 at Minnesota. Then Atlanta and at Brooklyn, we lost in a row.
2 games we should have won.
Detroit and Minnesota back to back.
These, I guess, but
that Detroit game was just and we didn't get
Detroit,
and then Utah and Dallas at Utah and Dallas. So those are the only things that we've really lost back to backs this season. And Shea, I saw something. I can't remember how many times he scored 31 points. It's a record in the same. Yeah, something like that.
Like 15 or 16 times or something. Yeah.
Impressive. This team's extremely impressive. I can't wait to see what else they've got going on. I saw something the other day. We were talking about Boston a minute ago. I mean, I saw it actually yesterday, because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. What sports team out there has the best green uniforms? Do you have any thoughts on the best?
Throwback Philadelphia.
That's what I thought. Yeah,
throwback Eagle. Jersey.
The old Kelly Green. That's what I say too. But hey,
all right, glad we agree.
Or a good one is Seattle Sounders.
Yeah.
They have some nice ones.
Seattle Supersonics used to have some nice ones back in the day, but they are now us.
Trash team, trash franchise. There's a reason. Seattle.
Yeah, I can't wait
though
until they get an NBA team again, and then we'll just.
I mean, they could have supported the first time. What makes us think they'll do it this time?
I can't wait till we have that rivalry and they hate our guts, and we at least for the first 5 years we'll probably smoke them out of the water.
Gary Payton Jr. tries to go over there and lead him, and it's just, I mean, by that point he's 40.
It's a catastrophe.
That's awesome. All right, college basketball. The Oklahoma is not in it. I personally don't think they deserve to be in it at all anyway. So it is what it is, and they declined an NIT. Chance to play in the NIT, but the basketball tournament is coming up, and then I know the number 1 seeds are UConn, Houston, North Carolina, and Purdue. Here's my thing, to me, and I could be wrong, the tournament does not feel as special as it was back when I was a kid. And I don't know if it's because a lot of these guys they play one and done and they're gone. I don't know what but do you think that has anything to do with it? Right.
The talent level is definitely worse.
Well, they play one and done, but also the best players that age aren't even in college.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All the players that are people are keeping an eye on, they don't go to college anymore. They have a different route, and it's just
it's either G League or Europe at this point,
or whatever Melo did. I don't even remember. What did he do?
Melo? Europe.
Yeah, Europe as well.
I was thinking you were talking about Carmelo. I was like,
nobody cares about him.
Is there any team you're rooting for since OU's not in it? Is there anybody you're kind of going, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing that team win it all?
Nope.
I don't even root for teams, honestly, most of the time. I just like watching the players that are NBA prospects. I'll start kind of siding with teams depending on that, but starting off, I'm never really.
I'll pretty much always be rooting for the underdog.
That's
most any game.
I will probably Houston's one of my favorites just because I love Calvin Sampson, what he did for here, and I think he's great. But I always
but he left.
He was great.
So.
Anyway, I do think I will always root for Kentucky. I always love Kentucky. They're a 3 seed, but I don't think they're not near as good as what they used to be at all. Bandwagon, whatever you can ask Jamal before you guys are even born. Jamal Mashburn.
They were good back then too.
Yeah, they were good
bandwagon
then.
That's who I
That's
like.
a
though,
bigger
back
bandwagon
then.
because you just said they're not what
So
they used
what?
to
Who
be.
cares? Pelfrey, you're a clown.
You're a clown.
I will have a little bias for Kentucky
Shea.
just because that's where Shea came from. And Wallace.
Kentucky, UCLA,
Huh?
Westbrook.
Oh,
Texas,
no.
Grant. Just kidding.
what are you talking about?
But no, I just don't.
Yeah. Hey, the women's team though, they're a 5th seed. Should have been higher.
If they
in
wouldn't
all
have got
honesty,
beat
for sure.
yes, in the Big 12, man, early.
But,
No,
yeah,
you're
but
right.
they won
Yeah.
I agree
the
with you. I'm just saying,
season,
I think that
which is
losing
more
that
impressive.
game early
Personally,
kind of
but
hurt him. Fortunately,
I just don't get how Texas is number 1 and we're number 5 and we won the. Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Let's call and see what's going on.
The Harding women's basketball made the Division II March Madness, which sounds like but it's like I guess a big deal.
Oh, okay.
Have you gone to any games though? That's the question. Have you gone to any
You
games?
said it perfectly.
No,
Ow, you can't support
well,
him.
but
Doesn't
He's a
count.
pretty guy.
say I like.
A scholarly boy.
Well, do
That's,
you?
that's what
That's my
Always in the
question.
sun.
Do a lot
Always
of,
in-
do kids go or do they not really go?
The only time they went was whenever they offered like
Really?
incentives of money for their social club.
The only reason I ask because I mean, when I was in college, of course, there wasn't the stuff that is to do nowadays, but it was a big deal to go to the Oklahoma Christian basketball games, and there was great rivalries and all that. But nowadays,
Yeah,
I just feel like there's a lot of stuff to do. There's so many different channels to watch something on if you wanted to, your phones, all this kind of stuff. I think
yeah, there's too much
Right.
entertainment
I
in
think that
people's
has something
pockets
to do
and
with it, I really
rooms.
do. Now, if they were, but I don't know the answer to that. I was going to say if they're one of the best. I mean, because you guys just won the national championship in football, and I don't think you had like sellout crowds or anything, did you? Till the end, yeah.
Not till like the late
Yeah,
half when
right.
people actually started realizing it. Yeah,
No, that's cool though. But I mean, I'm looking forward to the tournament, and every year I sit there and go, you know what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to start next year. I'm going to make sure I watch a little bit more college basketball. And guess what? I didn't do it enough of then. It's just not.
never happens.
It's just not it. And I don't know next year with us going to the SEC if that'll help a little bit because the SEC is not. I don't think they're the Big 12, but I don't think they're as they're not as bad as some people may think. I mean, Auburn's pretty good. Tennessee's always good. Kentucky's good. So I think was Florida pretty good this year. I think as well. Maybe I don't know. There's some good
Yeah.
basketball, but it's more of a football conference where the Big 12, I think, will continue to stay pretty good in basketball with some good, with Baylor, with who you got, Kansas, Houston, those top teams. Iowa
Houston.
State was pretty good this year. So I mean, they've always had a pretty decent team. So we'll see. It's pretty exciting but unfortunately, I just don't watch enough of it. It's kind of like I love watching a little baseball, but my 3 sons don't. So it's pretty disappointing. The baseball season's getting ready to start.
I like
No,
going to
I don't
games.
blame
I
you.
just
And then-
don't like it on TV.
But
Yeah,
I
they
think you would
stink.
admit though, October baseball is different. Like it's just different feel, different, for baseball in October. Yes.
Because the games matter.
Well, it's a different feel, but that doesn't stack up to any other sport playoffs, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. I mean, because NFL obviously is probably the biggest, and then basketball, honestly, and NBA is pretty cool. Hockey, I mean, hockey's even pretty good whenever it's especially a Game 7. But anyway, it's pretty fun. Though. What are y'all laughing at? I see y'all laughing. What are you laughing about? Y'all laughing at me?
Nothing.
If you were
That'd be
a
there.
baseball fan, who would your team be? Tell me that. Who would your team be?
St. Louis.
Baseball.
What? Why would you ask that question?
It's
Like,
always
you
Who's
don't
yours,
know.
Garrett? I'm thinking the Yankees,
Who
but
do
I
you
don't
think? If I had to go back to
There
a
you
team,
go.
I'd
That's all
probably
I'm
go the
asking.
Yankees.
know. Good grief, man. Get all mad because I'm asking that.
Paul was about to say a bad
I don't
word.
say bad words. At all. All right, so next week, the tournament will have started. I know we're going to need to be getting into some draft talk here pretty soon because the draft will be coming up here. What is the dates? And then like the third week of April, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Something like, I don't know what the dates. I'm going to say 21st, but I don't know if that's actually. I don't know if that's accurate. I don't have a calendar in front of me, even though I do have my phone, and my phone's not coming on. But the NFL draft, I cannot wait. Most likely, what is that going to be, 18th to 19th, or the 25th and 26th, one or the other. So, yeah, that'll
Probably
be fun.
25th.
It always is. But, okay, let me ask you this. I know we one more question, then we're done. But we've got we were talking about free agency. I forgot to bring it up. Dallas owner Jerry Jones saying he's going to go all in, and then hasn't done anything. Any issues with that?
I think Skip Bayless put it perfectly.
Man, you talking about when he was mad? Yeah, I know.
His tweet.
The thing is I think we did talk about a little bit last week, the fact that, you're going to want to pay CD and Micah, so you got to have some money to be able to do that. I see a lot of restructuring of some contracts going on.
Which, that's okay. Just don't be like, oh, I'm going to go all in. Like, don't hype it up if you're not going to do it is the problem.
The man's
it's okay if you don't do much.
You have no idea how bad I just wanted to just be like done with him, but I can't. It's the one team I just don't, and the Thunder as well.
Why not?
I would love to. I can't. It's just like it's ingrained in me. It would be nice, but the thing is who would that second team be? Do you have a secondary team?
No, just give up.
Probably the other
maybe
Texas
Houston,
team.
maybe. But see, the thing is I like some of the teams. They stink. Like I like the Raiders. I mean, I love the black and the silver and black. The Raiders old, attitude that they used to have, but they're not the same team that they used to have. So, Steelers, always I like that because it's just cool, man. They're tough teams. But then I think at some point, I mean, the older I get, the more I keep rooting. What are y'all laughing at, you goons? Did you type something in chat, probably? Yeah, whatever. Anyway, I don't even know what I don't even know.
Talk about the Raiders.
Dad really likes the Steelers as well. That black and yellow.
Oh,
Terry Bradshaw, TB12.
I get more attached to players. I like players. You know what I mean? But the only issue is that you got daggum Mahomes, who I liked 5 years ago, and now I'm just like I can't stand him because he's too big of a winner. So, but anyway, it is what it is. All right.
It sounds like you just like losers.
I root for the losers.
That's why he's been able to be a Cowboys fan for so long.
Oh, yeah. Let me see if I can find a little bit of laughter here, man. That is just some the moment is gone.
Moment's gone.
Yeah, it's way. Gone with the wind right there.
Yeah. Funny guys here we got here.
What'd you say? Did you say something?
Funny guys. So, oh. Yeah, Garrett, good job, man. All right. So, till next week, we appreciate everybody listening to our podcast. I know you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, and we do appreciate it. Here's the thing: we're going to be doing a tournament basketball challenge. It's going to be Foxxed In, is what the group name is going to be. Foxxed In, and the password is going to be Boomer with a capital B. Capital B.
Do we have to do a password?
I think you do, because I don't want some goobers showing up. So, and hypothetically, if you
but if they're a part of the den,
the password is going to stop that.
Whatever. Anyway, all the thousands of listeners that we have, you can get on. Could be a capital B. It's going to be a capital B Boomer. Hypothetically, if for some reason that doesn't work, then try $ capital B for Boomer. I don't think it'll make me do that, but just in case, giving you a heads up for all you fans out there.
We'll put it in the description, maybe in the comments, post it on our Instagram as well, maybe on the Twitter. What's the prize for winning
the thing? Well, here's the thing.
Hold up the
national
cup there.
You can get Foxxed In merch, but you're not getting this one. But I will tell you that the thing is it's for second place because I think I win this thing all the time. So it's amazing. So I don't know what you get for second place. I don't know. You guys are going to have to figure that out. But I have a feeling I will smoke all three of these little fellas here. Pretty good. So it'll be fun. So, all right. I do want to remind everyone that iron sharpens iron.
Please stay safe.
Be savage and not average.
And remember to
And
join
until
the
next time, good.
Bye, everybody.
Boomer.
You've been listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast with Todd, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon. Find us on Facebook at Fox Den Sports. That's Fox with 2 X's. Drop us an email at foxdensports@yahoo.com. And be sure to share this podcast with other sports fans in your life. This has been Fox Den Sports.